Hi guys, a man named David Mencer, who either calls himself a Middle East expert or has convinced GB News that he is one, claimed that the only option for Israel is to obliterate Hamas. Now, he was asked by the host if that was even possible, and instead of answering the question, he claimed that folks on GB News were not listening to him. He went on to say that Israel has to destroy the Palestinian organization, but he did get something right: the fact that better relations between Jerusalem and Riyadh are of course not something Hamas wants. But can Hamas be obliterated?
Do you think that's possible, to obliterate Hamas, to crush that ideology?
I don't think you're listening to me. Israel has suffered the most heinous crime. The people of Israel demand, all right-thinking people demand, that this genocidal bunch of murderers are obliterated from the face of the earth. And believe you me, it will happen. Now, Israel will always put their one hand out to peace. That is in our nature. We wish to live in peace in this region. We, of course, that one of the reasons why this entire terrible thing has happened is because we were getting closer peace, particularly with Saudi Arabia. We knew that the genocidal murderers in Hamas and in Iran, their principal funders, didn't want that to happen, which is why they launched this attack. But we will always try our hardest for peace. But in the words of King David, there is a time for peace and a time for war. And right now, it's time to obliterate Hamas, obliterate this evil.
I hear you, and I'm listening to you very clearly. All I'm questioning you on is when you say obliterate Hamas, I'm just asking how realistic that could be in terms of absolutely crushing them, because they could be replaced by somebody or something else.
Let me ask you a question in return then. What did Britain do in response to ISIS? What did the United States do in response to ISIS? What did the European Union do in response to ISIS and Daesh? They obliterated them. They no longer exist. The same thing will happen with our own homegrown version of Hamas.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you're comparing apples and oranges here. Yes, some of the tactics they use are very similar and the ideology is somewhat similar, but the goals are completely different. Now, the problem with an ideology that Hamas have is that you can destroy the infrastructure, you can remove the leadership, you can collect all their weapons and have them destroyed, but the ideology will remain. Why is this so difficult for people to understand? Like, what is the IDF going to do? So they're going to go into northern Gaza City, and attempt to destroy Hamas. So arrest its leaders or kill its leaders, destroy its infrastructure, its tunnels, everything like this, and collect whatever weapons they can find and have those destroyed. That's what the plan is. And then what happens? See, unless you're going to have a governor there, unless you're going to have your own administration there, and even if you do, well, there will be resentment towards that administration unless it actually helps people. If it doesn't help people, then it will create resentment, and then you will have another type of war. So if the goal is to destroy Hamas, then the goal also must include some sort of alternative. And it has to be democratic. It has to be from the people within the Gaza Strip. You can't bring somebody in from outside and have them run the place. We've seen in the past how that's worked out. So if the plan is just to destroy Hamas, okay, and replace it with what? Because if you don't replace it with something, then the people will. And it's fully possible that the ideology will return. You can't destroy an ideology. You can destroy the infrastructure, you can remove the leaders, you can collect the weapons, but the ideology will remain as long as the people themselves feel oppressed, or the people don't feel that those in charge are actually doing things in their interest. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.